I mean, the first time I saw you, it was when you came down, because I was watching the highlight reel on the Prince, and then you came to watch one of his fights, and you said down there you're gonna smoke his boots. And I was like, I was laughing my head off, man. I was like, that was so funny. And like, then he tried to come back. Yeah. I'm the best featherweight, and I'm gonna knock you out. And go, we will see. And the whole build up to that fight was huge. And then the fight itself, the entrance, everything, the entrance to the fight, and the fight itself, where you knocked him down. Honestly, I thought you were gonna win. I thought you were gonna win the fight, bro. You must have been. Gone.
Yeah, you look at things like that. And I look back in hindsight, the whole thing was about control. I lost control. The first fight that I actually lost control on. Because I wanted to get, I respect the Prince a great deal, and he knows that. People don't know that before the fight, we were like best of friends. When I went to England and challenged him, he couldn't believe I did that. Nobody's ever done that to him. So I flew all the way to England to challenge this guy. He's like, who the hell? He knows who I was, but it was like, what gives this guy the gall to come challenge me? But I figured at the point I was 47-1. I had nothing left to prove. I fought the best fighters in the world already. I had won 2 world titles already at that time. So it was just like, okay, let me fight this guy, right? And we had dinner on the next night. We had fun, talked, we collaborated. And I understood his business aspect of it. Why fight me if I'm a dangerous opponent, coming to America to fight me and risk everything? Didn't make sense. So, me and him talked and stuff like that. I had a great relationship with the Prince. The thing was that I'm verbally on the same caliber he's on. So verbally, what he was doing was I was doing that for years prior. Walking the guys, be able to verbally shoot them down, get into their head. All the Muhammad Ali tactics that were invented years ago. Loudly breaking your man down. I loved his show. I loved what he presented. I loved everything he did. As far as his stigma, I thought it'd be a great stick. There's a good guy and a bad guy. And coming to New York City and HBO putting bills of him up, and never did that with me. So it was a great battle because everybody in New York City wanted to see me win. So it worked out for the marketing of the fight. So the fight wound up being a great, great fight. The problem was, I think by dropping him 3 times, I ruined the rematch.
But I was gonna say, you said it was one of the hardest punches you ever got hit by. Is that right?
No, the hardest punch I ever hit by was Goyle Vargas. Vargas was the hardest puncher I think I ever faced. Prince, he said that he's the hardest puncher. If I wouldn't have got up, if he was the hardest puncher I ever fought. I mean, I fought guys that can really crack. He can crack. Don't get me wrong, he can punch. But hardest puncher I've ever faced. Fighters have different criteria on what hard is. You know what I'm saying? Like I sparred Wayne McCullough. Okay, and Wayne McCullough told me I punch harder than the Prince does. I
think when you hit Prince, but Prince's body is shook, boy. That punch you got, he shook him up. And I see you know what I mean? And like you said, you could have got him, It's just that, it's just one of them circumstances, As you were coming in, he got you first, didn't it? But someone was gonna get knocked out in that fight.
I mean, I tell you, with me, I didn't feel that he hit as hard as I hit. That's why my shots to me, and I told him before the fight, I said, no disrespect to you. I said, no disrespect to you, Prince. I said, you got some knockouts, but you knocked out guys that were ready to be knocked out. I knocked out guys that couldn't be knocked out. So the way I looked at it was, my punching power was extreme. I knocked guys unconscious. My guys didn't get up when I hit them.
Derek Gainer, man. That first fight.
I knocked out a lot of guys. I knocked out Rafael Zuniga, 28-1. I knocked out a lot of fighters, man. James Pitts, 39-2. Guys with credible records. So I thought that Prince, to me, I saw him fighting guys from Colombia, from Ecuador, those guys. And those fights, those guys, they didn't have like extensive records. So I didn't look at him fighting anybody credible or not anybody credible. And I knew that he knocked out Tom Johnson, but Tom Johnson can't fight southpaws. I knew that for a fact because I couldn't get Tom Johnson in the ring to fight me at all. So when he knocked out Tom Johnson, I was like, great. Everybody needs everybody in their career, and I never knew that I would need a Prince in my career too. For real. One thing about us with my sensei, my trainer was a teacher, not a trainer. He was very, very good at picking you apart and knowing what I needed to do to get you out of there. The one thing he told me with the Prince, he said, Kevin, you're going to knock him out in the 7th round, Kevin. He said, what you need to do is just keep control. I don't want you to lose your control. He said, in the 4th round, when we argued in the corner about me taking the Prince out, he said, Kevin, no! He screamed at me. He said, Kevin, no. and And when I took my knee, when I rolled over off my back, and I was looking at him in the corner, looking at my trainer, I was looking at him like, you know what I'm saying to myself? Kevin, you stupid idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because I was, at that moment, I was trying to slow down because I believed exactly what he told me. Slow down, Kevin. Yeah. Slow down.
But your hand speed, Kevin, man, like, there was one time where you knocked him down, and by the time he got back up, you hit him again, man. Like, just natural, the hand speed.
No, because I didn't think his, like I said, I felt my punches were bombs.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think his was like bombs like mine, because the reaction I got out of him was way different than the reaction he got out of me.
Yeah.
That's why I thought he'd be worried, because I was just jumping up from his punches. I didn't know he'd never seen nothing like that. So I was like, he must be thinking, oh, I'm in trouble. This guy's getting up and trying to kill me. So the big thing with the Prince was, you know, me and him, it was like, okay, a gun fest, but it's like, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't believe that he was going to throw that left hand that he did. When the last punch that he threw and caught me in my temple was more off balance, but when I hit the ground, I was thinking to myself, you stupid idiot. Because I didn't think that he was going to throw that punch.
Yeah.
But he did. And when he hit me with it, I was like, oh, dang. So I was just trying to slow down, taking a knee, so giving Benji Estevez time so I can just take the count, look at my corner. But when I got up, I thought I was going to continue, but they stopped the fight. So, but it was a great ending, because what it left was us say, okay, you know what? Let's do a rematch. Because I didn't care win, lose, or draw. I just felt that, okay, good. We're going to do a rematch now. Trilogy together, right? And I got the game. So at that point, because I was retiring my career, people don't know this. I was going to quit boxing when I was 36-0, because I couldn't get a world title. And going to England was not the Prince first time I went to England. The first time I went to England was to challenge Paul Hodgkin.
Oh,
you know that.
I was going to mention him. Hodgkinson, yeah.
You know that.
Mention him.
At his fight, when he fought Ricardo Cepeda, I was the #1 mandatory to fight Paul Hodgkin, and he refused to fight me.
Yeah.
At all.
From Liverpool,
and I was,
he comes from, yeah.
And IBF. So the challenge of the Prince ain't the first time I've been to England to challenge a guy that was from Europe that was world champion.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm just going to ask you that question. You're telling you. Man, that's still.
For Paul Hodgkin, I wanted to fight him, and when he wouldn't fight me, I was going to quit boxing when I was 36-0, because I couldn't get Tom Johnson to fight me. I couldn't get Elliot Rojas to fight me. I couldn't get the Korean guy to fight me, and I was #1 in the world by everybody. Yeah. And I was quit boxing because nobody would fight me. I was 36-0 with 28 knockouts, and they were like, "We ain't fighting Kevin Kelley." Yeah. So when Hodgkin fought,
Vargas. He fought Vargas. He took his time. Vargas knocked him out in Ireland.
You know that was illegal too, right? Of course, Goyo Vargas wasn't rated in the top 20.
Yeah.
But how the shot was, he had a contract with Marcos Villasana,
that's right,
who was champion for Hodgkin, had a contract, and the BC to get rid of that lawsuit they had on him. They gave Goyo Vargas a shot. That I was like, who is this Goyo Vargas character? They were like, give him a shot and told me I would get the winner. So when they told me that, I was like, okay, I'll wait. And then my manager, I told my manager to sue, but he was like, I ain't suing. So then they offered me to fight with Goyo Vargas in September. So I said, okay, I signed a contract, and then I found out he pulled out of the fight. Then they told me that he hurt his hand. Then I come to find out he fought illegally in Mexico. So I was just frustrated, like you can't believe to say to myself, you know, by the time looking back in hindsight, if I could have did one thing I should have did was when I won the world title, I should have took a year off. Because I was so frustrated, I was so tired, because I had to wait so long for a title shot. Not physically, but mentally. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like they didn't want you to get the belt. We was talking to Vivian Harris. He was saying the same thing. He said he used to go in the ring fighting with his promoter and fighting a whole heap of things, and it's like it took his love away from the game. But now, like he's starting to rebuild right now, actually, and trying to come back. You know Vivian Harris, obviously, yeah.
He actually trained in the gym with me too. I trained with him also.
Yeah.
But the key with me was I had to wait so long. I remember I turned pro in '88. I got a title shot till '93.
Damn.
So I was quitting boxing, and I called Marvin Hagler my boxing father, because Marvin Hagler is the only reason I actually fought Gainer, because me and Marvin Hagler, the first time, me and Marvin Hagler, every time we go Hall of Fame weekend, we hang out, we see each other at a lot of functions. Everybody said I was like a version of Marvin Hagler in my career, because nobody would fight Marvin either.
Yeah.
You know, lefties. So see, compared to the Prince, he don't understand. Everybody wanted to fight him. Everybody wanted to fight him. So me, nobody wanted to fight me. So I had to earn my way. I had to fight Troy Dorsey. I had to earn my top 10. I had to fight number 10 in the world. Then I had to fight number 8 in the world. Then I had to fight number 6 in the world. Then number 1 in the world. I had to earn my way. So by the time I got there and I couldn't get a world title shot, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm done. So I'd rather quit than sit around waiting. Okay, you know, it just didn't make no sense. So when I won a title, the only regret that I had was I should have took off a year and got my mind right, got my hunger for the game back. Because my first fight was Jesse Benavidez. I was like, Jesse, are you serious? I went to fight Tom Johnson like right away. I wanted to unify the titles right away. I wanted to fight Tom Johnson, Rojas. I wanted to be undisputed champion right away. I wanted to prove the best in the world. That's what I wanted to do. But I couldn't get none of the champions in the ring with me. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It's because you're too good. You're too good for your own good. But the networks, the networks went behind you as well. The network should have been trying to push that fight as well, like they are with Mayweather and Pacquiao. It's like with them. It's like the networks are behind them guys. It's like I don't know. It seems like the network wasn't with you. You know what I mean? More like against you because they had all the keys to the. They had all the keys, right?
Yeah. The problem was I was an experiment. Like I said, by HBO. Remember, I was the first one. Boxing After Dark was created after what I did in boxing, another way to pay the fighters money. So I created a lot of things. You see my commentary I did for HBO? That's what I love. That's my love. I would love to do that right now. Yeah. As I said, I'm available for Europe. If you don't want me, let's sign me with a contract. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get ready to rumble! Yeah, you ready to get recorded now, yeah, for the interview?
Yes, man, come on, man. Stop playing, man. I'm ready like I'm ready to fight.
Is there anything you want to tell the public out there?
I am the greatest!
And then you say, God damn it.
You got knocked the fuck out, man! Get knocked out, damn.
Word is born, I'ma smoke 'em, you don't make no move. Treat it like boxing, stick and move, nigga.
And it was out for the night.
You know we need that trademark bark before you depart from our company, man. You know what I mean? Can we get the bark again? We're gonna need that bark. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Jesus Christ, fellas. Dog is coming.
I don't care if he knocked me down, I was ready to go with him. Whatever you wanted to do, I was ready to match him. All the way, mate, all the way. Now you might start believing in the Dark Destroyer.
Shout out boxing when I heard you on the radio. I just don't know.
Boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes.
I got knowledge and motherfuckers lacking.
I don't know if you want to answer. Possible Manny Pacquiao fight with Floyd Mayweather. How you feel about that one?
Well, basically, I mean, it's a fight that still has the potential to happen.
I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their claw. There's no one that can match me.
Boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes, boxing beats and rhymes.